Is it recording? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to your May 2025 astrological forecast. So the month starts off with the sun still in Taurus up until the 20th, and on the 4th we have a planet going retrograde, which is Pluto. Okay, everything else is in direct motion. On the 10th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 12th, there's a full moon in Scorpio. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. On the 24th, Saturn moves into Aries. And I do have to say, you know, Neptune moved into Aries last month. I'm sorry. There, I had to use my computer, okay, to record. My camera is really screwing up, so please bear with me. You'll see on some of the other videos, they're like totally out of focus, so please just ignore that. Anyway, Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn also moves into Aries on the 24th, giving Pisces a little break. Okay, over the summer at least. Both of these planets will move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And then next year they'll fully move into Aries. But for this summer, for like a few months, both of these planets are going to be in Aries. So, you know, Pisces gets a break. And even Virgo, as far as that goes, the opposite sign of Pisces. So on the 25th, Mercury is in Gemini, and on the 26th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and all month, Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo. Okay? So, thank you so much. Special shout out to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes and shares and comments, and if you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links in the description box below. There is one to my website, but it is easier to just email me at Zane's Zodiac .com. I'm sorry, Zane Zodiac at gmail.com. Okay. And just ask me whatever it is you would like to know, whatever service, you know, do I offer this service or that service or whatever. And there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And also, don't forget to check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts. And now for your forecast. Hi, Libra. First thing I have to tell you is please bear with me, okay? I had to switch. I'm on my computer. Normally I would use a camera, but it's been giving me problems, and I have like lights so close to my computer that they're bothering my eyes. So just please excuse me if I squint. Okay, I've been squinting. But somewhere along the way I'll figure it out, because I might end up having to do this. It's just a little easier than you'll see, like on if you watch some of my other videos. They're totally out of focus, even though I focused. Okay, whatever. And I was using a Nikon, digital Nikon, but I mean, it's a great camera, but whatever. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to use this and just ignore me if I squint. Okay, so anyways, the sun's in Taurus up until the 20th in your 8th house. That's where you have the sign of Taurus, and Uranus is still here, and Mercury moves here on the 10th, okay? 8th house is other people's money and resources, passive money coming to you through means other than earning it. Such as a legal settlement, insurance payout, refund of some kind, increase in credit, like bank, you know, on a bank loan or a credit card. This is also jointly held property and jointly held debt. Okay, so if you own property with someone else, this is kind of like highlighted right now because this is where the sun is, right? Okay. Anyways, back to money. Okay, I've mentioned before, you know, because Jupiter was here before it moved into Gemini, about an inheritance. You could also receive money from an inheritance or even prize money that you've won. Okay. Also, people may have given you access to whatever it is that they have. Those are also resources. Okay, and as far as jointly held property and accounts, if you have credit cards or bank accounts and do own property with someone else, they're like in the picture right now because the sun is here. So, you know, it doesn't, neither good nor bad. It's just that that's what your focal point is right now, is possibly whatever you may own with someone else, or just your money period. You know, maybe you're looking over your accounts and whatever. But if you were waiting on something that was supposed to be like, you know, if you were waiting on a deposit or something like that, once Mercury moves into Taurus on the 10th, okay, it's actually moving very fast because it moves into Gemini on the 25th. So between that period, the 10th and the 25th, I would hope that, you know, you would receive whatever it is you were waiting for. Okay, now there is a full moon in Scorpio on the 12th in your second house. That's where you have the sign of Scorpio. Second house is directly across from your 8th house. These are the money houses, right? Second house is earned income and possessions and many other things, but this is basically like how you earn your money. With a full moon here, you are possibly making changes of some kind, because full moon does bring a problem to the surface, so you can deal with it and then do away with it. You know, that's why, you know, it's come to a head. So you really have to like resolve whatever this is. And what it is it's money. You know, either you share money with someone, maybe you have maybe you're both working and you have you know, like paychecks that are deposited, and then whatever, you know, whatever you guys do with that, pay the bills, split 50-50. I don't know, whatever, but that, you know, you're doing something in regards to money that you're earning and your possessions. Okay, so if you do share something with someone else, it might not be that way for now. You know, maybe you want to change that, right? Also, Saturn is moving from Pisces into Aries, okay, into your 7th house, right? So, but for now, Saturn is still in Pisces up until the 24th in your 6th house, okay, of the workplace, the kind of work that you do, your co-workers, your house of health, and service to others. Okay, so as far as service to others goes, you know, you may have taken on like some kind of a burden in a way, you know. Maybe you were helping someone, and you know, it's very like depressing, maybe even oppressive, whatever. Maybe you're not able to do that anymore, or you don't have to do that anymore once this planet moves. But if you were helping someone out, it was because they were like close to you. You know, it was something that you agreed to do, even though it might have been hard, or it was not what you were expecting. Okay. Service to others, I usually have a 50-50 thing where someone needs your help with something, so they come and ask you for a favor, and in turn offer to do something for you, so you both benefit from the arrangement. So there could have been something like that going on here, but it turns out that the other person probably benefited far more than you did. Okay, well, this planet is just moving briefly over the summer. It will move fully. Both Neptune and Saturn will move into Aries next year. But for the summer, they're both moving into Aries just for a few months. They'll move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And so you're not over yet, you know, but for the next few months, you won't have to deal with, you know, Saturn and Neptune in your 6th house, okay? You may have had health problems. When Neptune is in the 6th house, it's a hard to diagnose problem a lot of times. You can be going to tons of doctors and nobody's like, you're, you know, and then something, you know, one of your symptoms go away and it's a miracle, and then it's back, and then, you know, whatever, never a dull moment. So that is gone. But like I said, these will come back just briefly, and then next year you won't have to deal with these planets anymore. For now, though, Aries is your opposite sign, okay? You have Saturn from the 25th on, and Neptune already here, but Venus is in Aries also all month, okay? Also, Mercury is still in Aries up until the 10th. So where you have Aries in your chart is your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships, business, romantic, or friendship. Also the house of arrangements and agreements, open enemies and competition, and many, many other things. Okay, so, you know, having Neptune here does bring about, like, deception. You know, it seems, along with Saturn, when you have these two traveling together, it's not like a very good thing, okay? But with Venus here, Venus and Neptune together bring about like a very altruistic, selfless kind of love, you know? So you really got to be careful about any kind of arrangement or agreement that you make with someone right now within one of your close relationships or partnerships, okay? Usually it's business. If it is business, you know, you could have a business partner that's trying to get over on you in a way, you know, or trying to come off like they'll take the business out of your hands so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Meanwhile, you don't know what the hell they're doing with the business. So it's a good idea to not do that. Don't give anyone the full reign if you have a business partner, okay? Romantically, same thing, you know. You could have like somebody really, I don't know, you know, just really trying to win you over. If this is a current relationship that you've been in for a while, you know, you may notice a little bit of a difference about this person. Maybe they're far more agreeable than they normally would be, which is suspicious, okay? But there, yeah, and there's a reason for that, so just keep that in mind. If you can avoid any kind of contracts, you know, signing any kind of contract, and if you absolutely have to, make sure you have a really good lawyer or consult somebody. You know, 7th house is also experts, like consult an expert, okay? So, now that we got those planets out of the way, right? Okay, planets do move into Gemini. Okay, the sun moves here on the 20th, Mercury on the 25th, there's a new moon here on the 26th, and Jupiter is still in Gemini in your 9th house of long distance travel and communications, foreign countries, people, languages, higher learning, media and publishing, let's see, legal matters, the house of adventure, many, many things, okay? So Jupiter will be leaving here in June. It will move into Cancer, into your 10th house, which is also very good. But Jupiter is the natural ruler of the 9th house. So you may have traveled a lot this year. You know, may have noticed you could be a lot of little trips. But when Jupiter's here, you usually take that dream trip, you know, maybe to another country or something or other. Whatever, you know, or you had at least one adventure, okay? Very interesting, something very interesting, right? With the new moon here, will bring a new beginning, a new start in this area. You may have learned something or are about to learn something. It could be someone just showing you how to do something. You could be learning this to like enhance your career, or it's just something that you would really like to know. You find it interesting. Also, though, you know, with Mercury here, you could have a lot more conversations than you have lately, and they could take place with people who live at a distance or in another country. And let's see what else here. Just, you could find yourself on social media. Maybe that's how you're in contact with people who have a different background than yours, a different cultural background, or maybe they are just foreign. They live in another country. And a lot of times, if you're not traveling, the only way that you have contact with these people is on social media, and possibly like a group even that you belong to, where, you know, that's someone from, at least one person, okay, that's a foreigner, okay. Anyways, okay, I do have to mention Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius in your 5th house, okay? That's where you have the sign of Aquarius, the 5th house being the house of fun, romance, creativity, gambling, speculation, any kind of sport, game, or form of entertainment, and anything to do with children. So this planet just moved here. You probably haven't noticed it just yet, but it is going to change your, like what you even do for entertainment, or what you're attracted to, what kind of art or film you listen to, even like a romantic partner, or, you know, anything creative, or whatever you do for fun will gradually end up changing, and a lot of other things, okay? So, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Libra on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Aries, and those dates are the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for money is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for your career is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 13th, 14th, 15th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!